What's up, Poke fans? It's Galp with the Poke Bank Club. And continuing on from where we left off, Facebook Market purchase I think was okay, but definitely could have been better. And I was just going over some of the pet peeves I have, and I was just showing again this Mewtwo. This Mewtwo could have been really great. I'll try to do what I can to restore it, but let's go into it. Alright, so, of course we gotta fill the inventory. So, this is kind of my pet peeves here. And again, it's just interesting. Nothing really I can do about it. Not gonna really say anything, of course, to this lady. Not at all. I'll just take it on the chin. It's my first one, so I'll start paying more attention. Plus, again, I had my wife do this one since it was a family. I didn't want to show my grizzly old face and trying to buy some Pokemon cards. But here we are. If I can, you know what? We're going to take you over to what we have going on here. Alright. On to the map. So, this is the issue here. This is a binder. And binders are pretty safe, I would say. In my opinion, they're pretty safe. The issue here is that if you look at these cards, you'll notice something. Okay, did you notice it? And get a little closer. They're all common cards, I'll just say it. They're all common. And, well, long story short, folks, that's the issue. The binders that they have with cards in them. When I saw the Facebook ad, the cards looked like they were all like in binders for the most part. But, you know, pictures can be a little misleading. But as you see, all common cards. Stacks and stacks and stacks. Or pages, shall I say. Pages, pages, pages. Pages of common cards. It's late. I'm tired. It's like 2 in the morning, but I got a lot of work to do. And I still have an 8-hour job to get to in the morning. But when you're starting your own Pokemon store, you gotta put in the hours. But yeah, all basic cards. None of the illustration rares that were in the ad. And she said, oh yeah, they're a lot of... Well, she didn't say that, but you know, the photos showed that a lot of illustration rares. We just verified that everything in the photo was in the bag that she gave us. This is the bag. That was it. And you know, everything that she said was in the photos was 100% in the bag. No lies there. These are just more basic cards. I have to go through them all. I haven't gone through any of these. These stacks here is what I went through. And they're just pretty much some basics, some hollows, some reverse hollows, things like that. Nothing too crazy. But could be useful for the overall store singles. And also, something I plan to do with the store that I think would be unique is to help people with battle decks. That's my main reason for this type of inventory. Is for battle decks, because you still need these type of cards. Most, you know, illustration rares, you're not gonna have 4 of those in your battle deck. You don't want that. So you know, that's a TCG is a whole different thing when you're actually talking about competitive play. So I'm VGC competitive, but I used to do TCG when I was a kid. When I mean a kid, I mean like I was like 10. But I haven't done that in a long time. I do play it online though. I do that a lot. But it's not competitive in my opinion. It's just for fun. And that's TCG Live or whatever they call it now. I think they just changed the app or whatever. But yeah, so those were the cards that I got, and I looked through the binder. I'm like, dang, none of the illustration rares that she said would be there are there. I mean, just get the focus. And I'm like, oh man, that's a bummer. And I'm just thinking like, oh, I guess we kind of wasted money on this one. You know, being though the first illustration rare I did find was this. So I was like, oh yeah, that's not cool. So thinking about that in real time and how that is uncool, I kept looking and looking and looking and looking. And I re-looked through the binders a bunch of times and I was just disappointed. Like, oh man. But as I looked through the piles, I started to notice, wait a minute. Hold on. There's some bangers in here. And you know what I noticed? All those illustration rares were just lollygagging in the bag. They were just flip-flopping in the bag, man. Like, are you serious? You didn't have this in the binder? This. Do you know PSA 10s what these are? You should look it up. I'm not even going to tell you. Here, let me get a close-up. Look them up. PSA 10s. Like, banger after all the pictures. So she wasn't lying. I mean, the cards in a sense are there. But, definitely a bummer that they were not taken care of. So no, they're not near mint. At least most of them are not. I'll have to do some inspections and really go through them. Sleeve them up, of course, once, I just pulled them out now. I went through them while my wife was driving us back. I drove there and she drove back, split the difference so I can actually go through the cars and make sure everything was there. We pulled over in the parking lot to, check it out. But I mean, oh yeah, they had this gold card. I don't even know what the deal is with some of these gold cards. You can just put that off to the side. But the illustration rares that I know about that I've been chasing for a long time, they are here. And some of the V's and GXs, of course. So, yeah, look at that GX. That looks dope. So, and they have a Miriam. I know about Miriam. Hold on. Can't miss an opportunity. Hold on. In the photo of the Miriam. And I'm like, oh, bet they got the Miriam. They got the Miriam. Ooh, I gotta get that. So, that was another card that really made me want to get this bundle from this lady. But I'll show you the problem with it. That right there is Miriam. There you go. PSA 10. Wow. Yeah. This is the real deal. This is a real card. The only issue is that she was manhandled. Right there in the corner. There's a bin. Now, I'm being super picky, but hey, I'm putting this on my store. Like, I don't want customers to be disappointed. When I get a card, I'm going to inspect it. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to be like, hey,